Hello everyone and welcome to this episode of the Summit on Rwanda Television News, and I'm your host Martina Abera. Now tonight we're going to be focusing on eKash, Rwanda's national instant interoperable retail payment system, an initiative led by the National Bank of Rwanda to enable instant, secure, affordable and interoperable digital payments across licensed financial institutions. Now as Rwanda continues its journey toward a more inclusive and cashless digital economy, eKash represents a major milestone in making financial transactions faster, more accessible, and more connected, especially for everyone. Now, to help us unpack what this means for consumers, for banks, mobile money providers, and the country's digital payment ecosystem, we are joined by an esteemed panel. I'll start with my near left. This is Jean-Claude Gaga, Director of Airtel Money Rwanda. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Martina. Happy to be here.
Yes, we also have Philippe Kakuru, Senior Manager, Products and Services, Mobile Money Rwanda, MTN Momo. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Martina.
Yes, we also have Jean-Jacques Kajuga, Chief Operating Officer, RS Switch. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yes, we also have Tony Francis Nhore, Chief Executive Officer, Rwanda Bankers Association. You're welcome.
Thank you, Martina. Happy to be here.
Yes, and last but not least, we have Fabrice Tuyizere, Director of Payment Systems, National Bank of Rwanda. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Happy to be here too.
Yes, and we cannot wait to unpack everything that is eKash and this interoperable payment system. Now, without further ado, let's immediately dive into the conversation. I will start with you, Fabrice. Someone who is finding out about eKash for the first time, could you please elaborate more? What is eKash? Why is the central bank mandating this transition to full interoperability right now, especially? And how does eKash fit into Rwanda's broader vision of becoming a cashless economy?
Yeah, thank you so much. I would like just to start by highlighting that in the last 20 years, Rwanda National Bank of Rwanda has been implementing a strategy to have toward the cashless economy. And this has been implemented by different stakeholders, including financial institutions, being banks or payment service providers. So it is in that context that we observed that despite that we are having now a positive trend in terms of cashless, in terms of financial inclusion, but we observed that the existing arrangement on the market was not enough to serve or to achieve our long-term objectives. That one was observed in terms of bilateral arrangement that were observed between banks and electronic money issuers known as mobile money service providers. And this was really hindering in terms of fast payments, but also in terms of accessibility toward the different financial institutions. So National Bank of Rwanda, together with other different government institutions, and other different players, including banks and the mobile money providers, came up with one blueprint known as Rwanda National Digital Payment System, today branded as eKash. This was just to serve the payment system interoperable for retail payment transactions. It has been started with the two main players between the two payment service providers, that's Mobile Money Rwanda Limited and Airtel Mobile Commerce. But later on, we onboarded banks, and later on, we onboarded also microfinance and so on. So today, we are now including a new use case that is now connecting different financial service providers, not only serving as a person-to-person transfers, but also as a merchant payment. Briefly, in a nutshell, eKash, it's a payment system designated by National Bank of Rwanda and operated by RS Switch, branded as eKash, that connects banks and different payment service providers to facilitate the movement of funds between people, but also to facilitate the payment toward the merchants.
Thank you for that background. Over to you, Mr. Nhore. Why was it important for Rwanda's banking sector to adopt a common national payment system like eKash?
Thank you, Martina. For the financial sector, including the banking sector, we have started the journey of digital payments some years back. But what we see now is that the future of the financial sector is really based on the collaboration, but also interoperability. So for us, it's a journey that we have started, and we really continue because we see the advantage and also the possibility for customers to have a seamless transactions, and also there's a fact that there's also that part of financial inclusion that we really want to increase.
Thank you very much for that. And over to you, Mr. Jean-Jacques. How does shifting to a centralized national infrastructure change how transactions are being processed?
Thank you, Martin. We are moving from a market that was bilateral to a multilateral market, which is interoperability. So Rwanda has made really a strike into financial inclusion, digitization, access to financial services, but we still had one problem of building bilateral, but digital system were still located separately, means achieving digitization, but building multiple silos. And this resulting into fragmented ecosystem. So one is that the government has built a public road, which is like a roundabout interconnecting the financial services into a single unified system to enable a cohesive financial services ecosystem to allow customers be able to send, pay money across the entire ecosystem. What does it mean? Me, as a customer, I should be able to send money to any institution, regardless where the beneficiary have an account opened. The second thing is, this is also expanding the reach. I said we are moving from a bilateral ecosystem. Bilateral, this was two institutions negotiating. It was a business conversation. Some that did not have the volume demonstrating enough were excluded from the conversation. So the government's ambition to achieve financial inclusion thought about this. What about microfinances that are not able to achieve this interoperability? Let's connect them into a single unified ecosystem, allow any citizen, regardless of where they are seated, in the rural areas, be able to send, receive money through eKash. And for me, as a citizen, what it means, go through any USSD code from where your account is opened, send money to any institutions through eKash. So that's what it means: affordability, accessibility, financial inclusion, and expansion of opportunity as far as digital economy is concerned. Thank you.
Good to know. And over to you, Mr. Kakuru. What does eKash mean to MTN Momo users? And what changes will the everyday customer notice in their day-to-day transactions? Does this apply to MTN transactions as well? Just briefly go through that.
Thank you for the good question, Martina. What does this mean for a mobile money user? Today, they have walked a journey whereby they can be able to send money across different institutions, with a limitation whereby some institutions were not onboarded to be able to join the cashless journey that we were on. With eKash coming in place, it's enabling even the excluded financial institutions like SACCOs, other microfinances to be able to join what I would consider the party, to be able to say that can they be able to send money easily? Can they receive money easily? Can they receive payments easily? Can they be able to make payments easily on the different channels across? What changes are expected is now people were used to, if I want to move money from my bank account, I could just use my mobile money wallet, which is already linked with my account, and move it from my account. What's changing now is that for you to move that money, you'll have to go through your bank provider, applications or USSD as communicated, and be able to move it directly from your bank account to your wallet easily. And then you can be able to as well make payments wherever the merchant is using. If, for example, I have a bank account and I want to make a payment to a Momo Pay user, I can be able to pay directly. If I have a bank that is offering a merchant at the moment, I can be able to pay directly to the merchant easily by dialing *182, *8, *1, and then be able to complete our transactions. What it means is, one, the user is going to experience a more rich of transactions. They can be able to do different financial institutions, not just commercial banks, but even MFIs and SACCOs. For the banks and the others who were not able to pay directly to the merchants, they'll be able to pay directly to the merchants. And the underlying message becomes, with eKash, we're going to be able to allow people to actually enjoy the cashless journey that we keep talking about every day.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And over to you. If you could tell us, how will Airtel Money customers benefit from being part of this eKash national payment system that we're talking about?
Thank you, Martina. If you look at the recent, I'll just pick an analogy of a recent example. When we introduced the bus lanes on our streets, you see how much congestion tends to happen, especially in the rush hours, morning or evening. This happens because one particular lane has been dedicated to the buses. The rest of us have to share the remaining space. So what, for us as Airtel Money, what eKash actually does, it's the opposite. Rather than keeping you in a particular lane and you stick to one particular lane, it's actually widening the highway, allowing us as customers to say, it doesn't matter if you want to increase your speed from the 60-kilometer lane to the 80, you have that flexibility to do so. So you don't have to inconvenience someone who wants to do an 80 and you're the one ahead with a 60. Likewise, if you want to move all the way up to 120, then you have a lane that permits for that. So what for us eKash means is that it permits for that. It gives more options. It widens the opportunities for customers, and which is why we actually wanted to supplement the same initiative by something that we did in hindsight, of course, by zero rating all our transactions. So when you're sending money from an Airtel wallet to any other wallet, it's free of charge. And any other wallet means whether it's an Airtel wallet or an MTN wallet, you're sending is free of charge. The same happens if you're sending to the bank. It's also free of charge. So we did this in anticipation that when we have that room that allows someone to choose whichever lane allows them to move fast, for us in the language of business, we call it our speed to go to market. So if we want to move faster to the market, then eKash is such a platform that allows us to do so. So to our consumers, to our users, we're saying we just have more room within which then you have immense opportunities to be able to do business.
That's interesting. Thank you for that. Back to you, Mr. Tuyizire. Now, as the regulator, as BNR, how will you ensure that all financial institutions play by the same rules, as well as making sure that the consumers' interests are being put first?
Thank you, Martina. This is just first to clarify that all the financial institutions and also payment service providers that are facilitating this movement of funds through eKash are regulated by the National Bank of Rwanda. This means that they are required to comply with all laws and regulations provided by the National Bank of Rwanda. And through our regular monitoring and surveillance, through different tools that we are using, we shall make sure that all the institutions are facilitating the clients, but also are protecting the rights of consumers. And this has to be done into three categories. The first category that we as regulators we consider in terms of assessment is the general governance of this payment scheme that connects different participants. The second aspect is related to operational management. Here we expect that different payment service users may be encountered by different failures in terms of transaction, but also some different system disruption, and also even cyber threats. So we as a central bank, we have to make sure that these participants are put in place controls, but also mechanisms to facilitate and help their customers. The last one, the third one, is all about the consumer protection. For us, not only in our regulatory requirement, but even in our assessment, we do consider to assess that these financial service providers had put in place the mechanism and the controls related to facilitate the consumers, but also to protect them in case there is any disruption or there is a failure of payment finality.
Thank you for that. Mr. Nore, how will eKash transform the banking experience for the individual customer, but also the experiences for various businesses that will be encountering this?
Yeah, thank you, Martina. As I said from when I started, this journey has started some years back.
Yes.
And as bank, we are participant in this exercise, but also we are the drivers in the digital payment. So for us, customers has been really experiencing this. But what we want to make it even smoother is to have an education that goes with the experience, so that banks already, if you look at, as it started yesterday, banks have published even on their website the information about the eKash to inform the clients. We did the same as the association, but also we plan really to do those awareness with our partners, BNR and R-Switch, so to continue that kind of awareness and education. Experience being something that we consider as an asset for the bank as they trust us.
And how could you describe maybe the reception so far as that you're experiencing?
Yes, thank you. I was even talking with JJ about that. Client has been very receptive. We're just even coming from another talk show where they were actively asking questions. That's what we want. We want really those questions to come so that we can solve them as they come. Really, our task, as I said, really is collaboration and really making it working.
Thank you for that. Back to you, Mr. Jean-Jacques. Now that all the retail payments are all moving to this unified platform, if we may speak, how is the overall readiness to handle this new change? We did speak about the readiness, but we could also want to hear from your perspective. And what comfort should clients have as they experience this new system?
Thank you so much. As Tony has just mentioned, this journey started 3 years ago. The first go live was in May 2022. And phase one was between the two operators, mobile money operators, Airtel Money and MTN Mobile Money. This has given us enough time to have the system carefully tested with the two institutions. As you know, the velocity or the number of transactions that travel through mobile money is massive, and that's how system is usually tested. And this makes us to move to the extra step of onboarding financial institutions that are onboarded in 2023, and gradually we were onboarding all the institutions. Another thing is we really took time also to get to understand the data, because consumer data is really our top priority. Consumers' informations, the way they are hosted, the way they pass through the platform, they're really securely moving the platform. They are encrypted. We've put enough security protocols around the platform to make sure that no one can tamper with the systems. And the system, the performance per second, the speed is really taken care of. And the message here is to give to the citizen, to the Rwandan, to have confidence that transactions are moving seamlessly. We are already moving over 500,000 transactions a day, and they are all being handled properly, and the systems is really stable. It's a highway that is ready to really take care of the Rwanda citizens and take our ambition to the digital economy, to the cashless, to really move to our ambition of building our middle level income as far as our national strategy is concerned. Thank you so much. Yeah.
And given that this process started 3 years ago, roughly, do you think that also contributed to the readiness of the consumers to be able to appreciate, but also take into account such a platform like this?
Yes. That also helped to prepare the market, not only the consumers, even ourselves, to prepare what to expect from the market, because this platform was built with the consumer in mind. As they transact, we also get to understand their need better. We also get to really accommodate or customize the system based on what the customers need. And in the progress, we also have been talking gradually to customers, educating in partnership and collaborations with Central Bank, with Rwanda's Bankers Association, with the ICT Chamber, with fintechs, to make sure that customers are thoroughly thought of, and the platform is built to really address their need of paying and getting paid, receiving money securely, with confidence. We've put something that is very interesting, because we used to be sending money where beneficiaries are not validated. You end up completing payment without being sure where money is going. So when you're sending money from any institutions, beneficiary is validated. You get to check the beneficiary name before you put your PIN. And if you, for some reason, typed wrongly a phone number or a bank account, you cancel to restart the process until you get the right name. And this is one of those type of opportunity where you're making a transaction, peace of mind, without worry of sending it to the wrong beneficiary. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Back to you, Mr. Kakuru. I'm sure so many questions are coming up, especially ever since the release of this new platform. But if you could explain, how will eKash improve the experience of sending and receiving money between mobile money accounts as well as bank accounts? I think you kind of spoke about that, but if you could elaborate more, will it be affecting the push and pull aspect of it all?
Thank you, Martina, for a good question. The experience is going to still be the same, if I would say. Today I have money and I want to pay or send money to the bank account. What I'll do, I'll just dial *182, *1, *2, choose eKash, and then be able to put the beneficiary account or wallet number, whichever they have, and be able to send it. So the experience will still be the same. And for those ones who are used to it on a different journey, we've tried to maintain it without impacting much of the change. But when it comes to me saying I'm moving money from my account and I want to move it into my wallet, then the only change is that I have to go through the bank partner or the bank that I work with channel to be able to move it into my wallet. I'll give an example. If it's, let's say, INM Bank and the channel is *227, that's what I'll go through to be able to move money into my account and be able to still transact, do everything that I've been used to. If it means settling my mobile money loans, my overdraft, or be able to still pay for the morning coffee at different coffee shops, or even paying for fuel, you'll still be able to experience that seamlessly without any change on behavior. So what you're saying today is, yes, you're moving your money from account to your wallet has changed, but what is happening is that you'll still be able to access it. The only change is that you'll be able to go through your bank partner channel to be able to access it and be able to pay for the different things that you've been used to using your wallet for.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. And back to you. One might be able to ask, how is Airtel Money ensuring customers' experiences faster or even safer and more reliable digital payments through eKash? Because what people want is simplicity and also something that is going to just bring about better than what they've been experiencing. So,
the first better part, of course, for us has been the pricing. Customers understand one thing. They understand the product and everything else. When it comes to pricing, it's an area that everyone picks interest in. So for us, we had to ensure that the pricing issue is fixed fast, because our pricing is zero. Send, pay, receive, zero. So to just align and prepare ahead, what we did is prepare our channels. Channels is a distribution, our agents, our merchants, ahead of time. One, it requires a lot of work in branding to make sure that they have the right branding, the placement of all our brands, so that when a customer walks in, they're able to make a payment without having so many questions. Two is to our agents. What this is going to do, opening up an ecosystem where everyone has more or less the same rights in the field, just like the other, it means you need to prepare more. So there's going to be more influx. By influx, I mean more incoming transactions. When you have more transactions coming and your agent base is not well prepared, an agent who has been investing 5 million will keep investing 5 million, and then suddenly, by 2 p.m., they will run out of business. So what we are doing is to prepare them and say, please do invest more, do apportion more time to serve where you've been serving probably 5, you're going to serve probably 4 times more. So it is important that they get ready ahead of time to do that. And then, of course, 3 is to keep our channels accessible. We have our free-to-call channel, which is our call center, 100, to just ensure that a customer that, with all these changes, we get to see a lot of questions online, social media, our WhatsApp, public line. Everybody has a question. So it's important that these people are aware that there's going to be more questions coming in because of this change. And then the team has to be ready, especially the operational team that handles stuff in the back end, to be ready to say, whenever a customer calls, they should expect, a faster service and an accurate information on what it is that they're asking about. So for us, I must say, we were ready before the announcement. So we just have to embrace it and give the customer what they duly deserve.
Yeah, true. And how could you also describe the reception on your end?
The reception, as I alluded to it, if you look at our social media outlets, people are asking. They're
curious.
They're very curious. Yeah. Curiosity is a good thing.
It is.
They're tagging central bank, they're tagging competition, they're tagging everyone involved in this ecosystem to say what is it that this is all about. Especially when you talk about the 20 franc to send to any other network. Everybody is asking, does this apply for when I'm sending to the same network? So many questions are really coming up. So the reception is that curiosity. But what we've also done is to ensure that our call center, of course, teams are very well planned, especially the rotation plans, so that, where they've been taking 10 calls, we are sure that they'll take way more, a multiple of that.
Yeah, but the good thing is that you're ready.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We were ready for this.
Okay. Back to the central bank. What is BNR's long-term strategy for ensuring that this new national system drives genuine financial inclusion that we're looking for in all aspects for the underserved Rwandans?
Yeah, thank you so much, Martina. As National Bank of Rwanda, of course, as I said earlier in the background, has been commissioning and also promoting the cashless economy, but also to include different payment service users or financial service users. Our long-term strategy is just to have an inclusive in terms of financial services to all Rwandans. And this has to happen through the facilitation and also through the collaboration, as highlighted by my colleagues, between central bank, between the banks, between payment service providers, and other different stakeholders. The first phase that we are starting today with connecting banks and electronic money issuers known as mobile money service providers is the first phase just to connect these different financial institutions. But also another phase that we are planning as central bank is also to onboard all microfinance institutions and also all SACCOs. And I know you are all aware that there's an ongoing SACCOs consolidation project. So we are really keen in terms of onboarding them to this payment system, ecosystem, to make sure that we are in the same line and understanding, and also to achieve our long-term strategy of financial inclusion and also to have a cashless economy. When we talk about the economic development, we cannot achieve it without a faster and instant payment. We cannot achieve it without instant collaboration. We cannot make it without instant decision as being done and also observed on the eKash platform.
And speaking of the underserved Rwandans that we were talking about, especially in the rural areas, how could you describe the awareness? Is there an increase of that? Do people know what's going on? Are they informed? Do they have access to all this information and how to go about the information that is coming to them about this new platform?
Yeah, as National Bank of Rwanda, we are very, very keen in terms of targeting the outreach of the citizens, and now we have started different campaigns, and we are participating in different community events such as the umuganda and also different local communities events, just to reach these different rural areas, citizens, and discuss and also share information related to the long-term strategy of the National Bank of Rwanda of financial inclusion. And this is the same platform that we use to collect information and also to have the real indicators that show us that we are really implementing our long-term strategy, we are achieving our targets, and of course we don't move alone, we move together as an industry, as a country, being Rwanda Bank Association, being banks, being switch that is operating eKash, being mobile money, Airtel, and also other financial institutions. We reach them, we educate, we make sure that they are aware, but also we support in case there is an issue of accessing these payment services.
Thank you. And over to you, Mr. Nore. The platform has been released and it's out there, and various stakeholders are now being able to access it. But if you could elaborate on the role of the commercial banks in terms of ensuring successful implementation as well as adoption of this eKash platform.
Thank you, Martina. So for the banking sector, for the commercial banks, they have an investment that was done already. So we're really now integrating with the new system, with the eKash. So it's a work in progress. And what you look at also for commercial bank is, for us, it's also an advantage to see that we are increasing participation of formal financial sectors as for inclusion. It's increasing. So for us, then, when it comes to the system, we definitely think that as it comes, technically it is now more seamless, it's faster, and it's affordable. So we can only embrace it and then also continue to invest in that system. And as we said from the beginning, our collaboration is key. As we said, when we work together, we improve many things. So that's the journey that we are doing now.
Yeah, you just spoke about collaboration is key. What is truly the importance of having all these stakeholders collaborate to make sure this succession is truly what it is meant to be of all the people involved?
Great questions. Is for us is really to be on the same page. You know, we can move, and if we don't move at the same pace, definitely we will be working backward. And for us, as we said, this is a national payment system. It's not a banking system. It also includes MFI. It also includes other key stakeholders, even the mobile providers. So for us, it becomes really key to communicate as much as we can to solve the issues as much as they come also, to make sure that at the end of the day, we are serving one customer.
Thank you for that. Back to you, Mr. Jean-Jacques. We've spoken on the various benefits of this eKash payment system, affordability, accessibility, seamless, but if one could give you yet again another chance to pinpoint on the expected benefits of using eKash, what is someone supposed to look forward to as we are encountering this new platform?
Thank you. eKash, when it started under a project, Rwanda National Digital Payment System, this is an infrastructure beyond the movement of money only. So benefit number one goes to the country itself from a digital economy perspective. Second, the consumer or the customers. Third, the merchant. Our market is an SME-led market. Means merchant were thought of. For customers, how? This means customers are being given more choices, convenience, and accessibility. This means customers are being given opportunity to transact wherever they are, regardless of or worrying about where the beneficiary account is seated. Seamlessly, fast, a transaction is completed within 10 seconds. For a merchant, what this means, the merchant is being given more options to accept payment from a bank account of the bank where his account is open of a choice. Today, to really be specific, we've been used of MomoPay. For someone to complete a payment, you used to make a transfer. You're moving from one account to Momo to complete payment into a single ecosystem from Momo to Momo. The opportunities are now expanded. And this is now, you don't need to make that transfer. You can complete a payment from your bank account, pointing it to a MomoPay code. And the opposite now is possible. You can complete a payment from Momo to a bank account directly. These are challenges that is through to banks to come up with also their code. Some have already rolled out code. But to be specific, what it means also for a merchant. For a merchant, for a farmer, for a consumer, every transaction that passes through eKash, it's a data point. For a consumer, for a customer to be given a loan, he needs to be trusted. And we are used for you to walk into a bank, you don't have a credit history, you are not eligible yet, you're moving money. So with eKash, we are giving a better visibility to a consumer transaction daily behavior for banks to come up with opportunities that are more relevant beyond the traditional loans that we are used to. And for the country, we are moving toward a digital economy, we are moving forward inclusion, we are moving toward interconnected ecosystem. And to achieve an interconnected ecosystem, we needed a unified ecosystem that brings together into a unified, and for policymaker, you need data that are not scattered. Decisions as far as policy, as far as the future projections, oversight from a central bank perspective, decisions will be more informed, more calculated, even our growth of economy will be better. And the third thing I wanted to emphasize is we are trying to reduce physical cash circulations. Managing physical cash is expensive to the central bank, to Minicofin. So we're trying to move to a digitized economy, reduce physical cash. If we reduce the physical cash, we're also reducing and bring a lot of efficiency in terms of printing, managing physical cash. So those are the layers of benefits which are straightforward but require an industry collaboration, intentionality in terms of driving it, and we've seen it happening. That's why we are here as an industry.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. And back to you, Kakuru. MTN customers or consumers are more or less used to a certain way in which they have or take care of their digital transactions, but like we have explained on this panel, this is an added benefit. And now consumers might be wondering, is this going to change how they use Momo, or is this going to be such a huge transition? But someone would like to know, it's definitely going to be an added benefit. How would you convince someone that is already used to the normal system that this eKash payment platform is going to add to the betterment of how they go about their daily transactions, but also make them excited for this new change as we are progressing in our journey to digitized economy?
Thank you, Martina, for the great question. And the message to all mobile money users, nothing is changing. You'll still be able to transact the way you be used to transact it. If you used to tithe the way you used to tithe using mobile money, you'll still be able to do it. If you're going to buy the tomatoes in the market, you'll still be able to use your mobile money the same way. If you were paying for, let's say, bus or transport, whatever, nothing is changing. What we're saying today is with eKash coming in place, is we're expanding the reach. We're enabling you to now be able to transact with a circle that you didn't have access to. If you wanted to send a contribution to a circle member, you can be able to do it. And that's the reach we're talking about that is happening. So just to give them the comfort, nothing is changing. They're going to actually do more because there are a lot of more innovation, more innovative solutions that we're bringing on board that will allow them to keep doing more and experience the digital journey that we keep on talking about, that my colleagues have been talking about, even the journey as a country we're going. We're saying we're bringing this into your hands and to make it easy and relevant in your day-to-day basis.
Yeah, and how could you also describe the reception on your end, but also the importance of such collaboration with these various institutions to make sure that this eKash is the success that the government is trying to make it?
As I think Gaga mentioned, the reception has been quite positive, a lot of curiosity, and a lot of questions, understanding, is my money still going to be safe? And as we've all mentioned multiple times and emphasized that with this eKash coming in place, the safety of your money is still there. You'll still be able to transact safely and be able to access it whenever you want at any point of time. And then for the users who want to keep doing more, they would still be able to do it.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And for Airtel Money, what message would you like to share with the customers who might still be hesitant in terms of embracing this digital payment system?
It's very simple. I think we need to demystify the whole perception that this is a bit complex, it's a new thing coming. No, it's just an enabler. So as all my colleagues say, and we shouldn't pay so much focus, what is the name of this, what's the name of that. Let's just say you've been given a wider space to do whatever you've been doing. It's more or less the same. The user journey, what we call user journey, sorry, I don't want to go into the technical jargon.
No, it's okay.
When I'm dialing to send to Martina, I'll dial *182, *1. If you're on the same network, I'll do 1 again. If you're on a different network, I'll do a 2 after the first one. That is not changing. What is changing is that after that 2, initially I would get to know what bank is it, how much will this charge be, Today you're going to know it is going to be the same fee wherever I'm going to send. So you're not going to even think about that. That energy that you're saving from thinking about the price, you're just going to be faster to do the transaction. Now, a message for us is for anyone who probably still thinks this is not for them, JJ put it out that what this does, it increases what we call the digital liquidity. So when more money, it's not a fancy word, just when more money comes into the ecosystem from the cash to the digital form, it means central bank is not going to spend more money to print the cash. So that is a saving. The bank that was borrowing from central, because they borrow from central bank, the central bank is going to lower the rate at which they borrow, because their cost is dropping. For the bank and anyone else who's going to give a service also, because they've got a better rate, they're also going to lower the rate at which they're giving the end user, who is the customer. Now, the ultimate customer is definitely going to get a much lower rate if they are borrowing for loans or any other fee for the service. So you see the network effect of whatever is dropping, ultimately, Muturaje is the beneficiary. So for me, it is embrace it. Ask all the questions you want to ask. But first and foremost, engage your institution. Because you may not know how to reach R-Switch. R-Switch is just an enabler also behind. So please talk to your institution, your service provider, if there's anything that you're not clear about. If you have to call a call center, like I said, Airtel Money, you dial 100, you'll get all this. And let's just keep transacting, because there will never be anything better than this.
Yes.
When it comes to digital payments. Yeah.
We need to put that on a T-shirt. Back to you, Mr. Jean-Jacques. The 20 franc fee cap that we are all hearing has generated so many questions. What exactly does this cap mean, and how does it protect customers? Because that's the most important thing here.
Thank you so much. The 20 francs means for any customer that is sending money or making a transfer, sending from your bank account to a mobile wallet, from a mobile wallet to a bank account, from a bank account to another bank account, this means you cannot be charged more than 20 francs on your institution where you're sending money, regardless any amount. If you're sending 1 million, if you're sending 5 million, if you're sending 10 million, because through eKash, you can send up to 10 million for a single transaction. That's also something I wanted to clarify. So a consumer will be charged at 20 francs. However, I wanted to add something very important. There is an additional options that have been added to the market. The first ever better innovation that is coming in the market is the merchant interoperability. It means you can now pay a merchant from one ecosystem, from one provider to the receiving merchant institutions. And when you make that payment, it is free. A consumer will not be charged for buying bread, for buying water, for buying coffee. We used to be making transfers or to do 2 transactions to complete a payment. You send, then you buy your coffee, or you go to a market, buy bread or anything. Today, you no longer need to do 2 transactions. You'll go, when you see a code, don't do a transfer. Log into your bank app, go through your USSD, 182.8.1. We used to be putting only Momo code, but add there now a bank code that is available. If you're paying from your bank account to Momo or Airtel Money, log into your bank app where they say pay merchant. Log into it, put a Momo Pay code. And when you're doing that transaction, you're not charged. It is 0, it is free, which means whether you do a P2P, they will charge you at 20 francs, but many of us are doing transfer to complete a payment. Then don't do a transfer, make a payment, because that option is there, and it's better for the consumer and for the merchant or the business people, shop owners, to be specifics. Thank you.
Yeah, and all this is to show that the consumer or the customer is at the forefront.
Yes.
But what does it mean for our switch or all the stakeholders at large to make the consumer, the customer, as comfortable as possible and to show that all their needs are to be catered for?
Thank you so much. First is affordability. The customer was thought of, that's why the transactions fee was brought to 20 francs. Understanding the customer behavior that we transact every day, we pay every day. And that's why even Central Bank had made it clear a consumer should not be charged for completing a payment. So we are encouraging customers to use purposely the services. If it's a payment, complete a payment interoperably. Regardless where your account is, you don't need to ask, this till is from which account. Those till that are out there are interoperable. Interoperable means they can accept payment from any source of fund. So the customer is taken care of, the merchant is taken care of, and it is transparent. When you're completing a payment, the customer is informed how much is being charged for him to have a peace of mind. And it is very quick for a merchant. We've been used to completing payment on a card. A merchant, when he's receiving payment on a POS, he receives his cash flow the next day after 48 hours or T+1. But for this exact services as a merchant, I'm receiving money the same time I'm handing over whatever I'm selling. Means I'm accessing my cash flow timely. And for me to manage my daily purchase, if it's a stock that I need to replenish, I replenish immediately because I'm getting my money on a real time instantly through eKash. Thank you.
Thank you. To you, Mr. Nhore, we've spoken about the various benefits of eKash and what it is going to do for the consumer, but also for the nation in general. But how do you see eKash contributing to Rwanda's overall vision of going cashless and and having a digitally inclusive economy?
Thank you, Martina. Just allow me to
please,
complete what JJ said. For us, what we are seeing is as JJ mentioned, that curiosity, we want that curiosity. So we expect probably an increase of queues in banks because they want to know exactly what is happening with eKash. But ultimately, what we want is to reduce that queue so people really use the digital payment. So there will be that transition in the banks, but we know that at the end we'll have really a few clients in the rooms of banks. No, so now come to your question. When you look at the bigger picture, This is a national system that is implemented. First, I talked about financial inclusion. We have a growing number of people using the digital payment. But don't forget that there is another big number that does not use it. So we are now bringing, that's really the aim, to bring those one who were kind of excluded to be part of that one ecosystem. Because before, banks were working what we call the bilateral agreement. Now it's one agreement for all the banks, seamlessly. That's one. Second, even for the banks, now that we have the same price in every bank, they will not be competing on the pricing, definitely, but they will competing on the creativity, innovation. What are they bringing really to innovate in that system, which will benefit at the end of the day the whole ecosystem. But again, when you look at again as a bigger picture, is really the system to facilitate even in the future cross-border payment, which we haven't started yet, but it's in the plan. Thank you.
Thank you for that. And lastly, back to you, Mr. Tuyizere, as the National Bank of Rwanda, which is leading this initiative, this interoperable retail payment system, and all the goodness that it is going to bring. What is the hope for the National Bank of Rwanda to the people as they embrace this new digital payment system, but also to also spark the collaboration that it's doing between the stakeholders that we have on this panel, but also the ones that are not here? What does it represent, but also what do you hope for the consumers to be able to understand as this is being launched?
Yeah, thank you so much, Martina. I would first start with the last question related to collaboration. As I highlighted earlier, now we are not bringing this initiative as a central bank only, but we are working together with different government institutions, but also with the different players, including the market players that we are together here to make sure that we reach our long-term objectives together in that collaboration manner. And this is being done through different mechanisms, of course. The first one is related to governance as a payment scheme. And that governance, also central bank plays a big role in terms of guiding them on the principles and the standards to follow. And the second is all about a closer communication between the participants, which are the banks and the payment service providers, together with their clients and the customers. So the collaboration not only remains with the central bank, but it now involves the participants, which are banks, but also the clients and the customers, to collaborate and also to understand each other. And second, we as the National Bank of Rwanda, we have a hope. And we believe that the citizen will embrace this payment system and also this payment service, because it's not only facilitating them in terms of payments, but is changing their livelihood that they are having today. Because today, if you are paying or sending funds from one institution to another one, now you are increasing another relationship with your financial service provider. So now you are increasing your opportunities to access finance, which can even help you in terms of your needs as a home, your needs as an individual, not only, and this can just be done into different sectors, including education, health, and the others. And this really boost not only their livelihood, but also contribute to the national economy. We also have a hope and I believe the adoption of this payment system by the citizen because of the trust embedded into the central bank. Central bank is there to protect the consumers. Central bank is there to regulate the institutions that provide this payment system and also the payment service providers, but also is there to listen and also to help and support the citizens if they encounter any challenge. And also to add to what my colleagues said, Rwanda National Digital Payment Strategy, this is a long-term project. I would say that we are starting now. We are starting with a few use cases. We are now planning also to onboard other use cases that will facilitate in our day-to-day activities. And this is also just to use the current status that were being benchmarked as an indicator to see and also to measure the adoption. If you allow me, I can highlight that as of March 2026, we observed that the electronic e-value payment that was used by the whole citizens over GDP was over 300%. But this 300% was not enough to say that we achieved our long term as a central bank, or the people are being served by these payment service providers, but it was just an accessibility and an entrance of cash into e-value ecosystem. Now we are expanding to different layers, which will help them to access finances from different financial institutions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we've come to the end of today's discussion, and our sincere thanks to each one and every one of you for contributing to this discussion. Thank you, Mr. Jean-Claude, Director of Airtel Money Rwanda. Thank you, Philip Kakuru, Senior Manager at Mobile Money Rwanda. Thank you very much, Jean-Jacques, Chief Operating Officer, RS Switch. And thank you once again to you, Tony Francis Nore, Chief Executive Officer, Rwanda Bankers Association. And last but not least, Fabrice Tuyizere, Director of Payment Systems of the National Bank of Rwanda. Thank you once again for contributing. And the information here is very clear. We hope you were able to take part of this conversation. As eKash is rolled out nationwide, staying informed will definitely help us all make the most of a faster, safer, and more connected digital payments ecosystem. And once again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in, and let's keep the conversation going. Ask all the questions that you need so that you are well informed as we continue on this journey of cashless as well as entering the digital economy. My name is Martina Avera, and I'll see you next time.